It's time now for the Campaign Beat, our daily roundup of news from the French presidential campaign. We have Florence Villeminot with us on the set, as always. Hi, Flo. Let's start by taking a look at the latest opinion polls with just 5 days to go to the final round of this presidential race.
All eyes on the polls, of course. This is a poll by Cantar Sofres, 1 point. So if the election were held today, you'll see Emmanuel Macron, the centrist candidate, would win round 2 of the election with 59% of the vote, Marine Le Pen getting 41%. The gap is closing between the two candidates. The previous poll carried out by Cantar Sofres, 1 point, put them at 61 and 39. So you can see that gap starting to close. Of course, the two candidates have just a couple days left, 4 days of official campaigning to convince undecided voters.
Flo, there's one voting bloc that could play a strategic role in round 2, and that's Catholic voters. A majority of Catholics voted for the conservative François Fillon in the first round. He, of course, was eliminated. The question now is, who are they going to vote for in round 2?
Well, many Catholics feel stuck because for them, Emmanuel Macron, the centrists, is a little bit too socially liberal. Of course, he is in favor of defending gay rights, a less traditional family model, if you will. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Marine Le Pen is the right solution, because if you look at how Catholics voted in round 1, it's really interesting. You can see that actually church-going Catholics, so practicing Catholics, voted less for the Front National than non-church-going Catholics. You can see 16% of practicing Catholics versus 20% of non-practicing Catholics. Now, the Catholic Church hasn't officially endorsed either candidate, and certain parishes are actually taking it into their own hands to mobilize against the National Front. Ellen Gainsford tells us more.
In this church in the heart of Paris, the parish is firmly endorsing Emmanuel Macron, even handing out a pamphlet warning against the National Front.
As Christians, we are for openness. We aren't racist. Christ came for everyone.
Lots of people say we must fight the National Front, but if we have to fight the National Front, that means voting Emmanuel Macron.
Father Daniel Duigu has decided to mobilize his flock.
It's not choosing between one candidate or another, or one party or another. It means saving France, its liberty, its sense of solidarity and openness. That's what's at stake today.
This year, the Catholic Church has decided not to endorse either candidate, a change in position from 2002, when Jean-Marie Le Pen reached the second round of the presidential election against Jacques Chirac. Then bishops clearly called for a vote against the National Front. Now, many Catholics are torn.
I can do what I want with it.
The Pope doesn't have to meddle in the presidential elections. He's written and said so much that we know what he would do if he were French.
Other religious leaders have endorsed a candidate. The chief rabbi of France has called for people to vote for Emmanuel Macron, and the Paris Mosque has also asked its followers to vote for the En Marche centrist candidate.
So the Paris Mosque there endorsing Emmanuel Macron, which follows a usual trend. While French Catholics tend to vote on the right, French Muslims traditionally vote left.
And it certainly was the case in round 1. If we look at polls from IFOP following round 1, you can see Macron got quite a lot of Muslim votes, but it was Jean-Luc Mélenchon from the far left who was the favorite candidate. You can see Marine Le Pen, though, very, very distant, 5th there, 5% of the Muslim vote.
All right, Flo, thank you for that. And don't forget, if you want to check out the Campaign Beat episodes, you can always check them out on the website, France24.com. We'll be giving you updates until that runoff on Sunday, May 7th.